Good afternoon, Representative Ms. Amy Gutierrez, and also the local network. We are the representative of this four company. This four company, uh, and I am the representative of Microsoft, which will be your first speaker. And here is our second speaker, the representative of Philip Morris, Mr. Dedano. Then representative of Boeing is Mr. Suryaman. And lastly, the representative of Kia Motors is Mr. Ang, who will be our last speakers. We will be covering the UN Global Compact Principle number 2 and Principle number 7. The Principle number 2, make sure that they are not complicit in human rights abuses. And also Principle number 7, which is businesses should support a precautionary approach to environmental challenges. The reason why we choose this principle is due to the reason that we believe that when we apply these principles, it will achieve the sustainability through this two principle. Our project will achieve sustainability. Our budget is 1% of the revenue of our four company, being the Microsoft Corporation donating $929 million, Philip Morris $296 million, Kia Motors donating $389 million, and lastly Boeing Company donating $907 million, totaling of $2.5 billion. It may sound a lot, but this will only cover our whole year project, which might be our problem of lack of funds, which will be reported later by my colleague, Ms. Ang. Next. Our first project being the Green Mile. The reason why we choose the name Green Mile is the reason of the saying journey for 1,000 miles begin with a single step. And we believe that this Green Mile is our single step of applying for the principle number 7. The Green Mile project is basically an initiative for it, as I explained just now. It is aimed at promoting clean and green environments. We want to promote the clean and green environments to the whole world as an initiative, so that they know what it means, so that our company apply it, so that our company will let all of you understand. And this is the project which will comply with principle number 7, again, the environmental principle. Our next project will be the project Working Land. The project Working Land sounds like amusement park, like Disneyland. Children love it. Children thinks that it is a heaven, and we want to apply to put the same idea. We want all of you to think of it as the same idea. We want the workers, the foreign workers that we will target, will think that working is a paradise, a utopia for working. And also we want to educate the foreign workers so that they know the culture of the country that they are staying, so that there is a human right. And also we choose this reason also due to the reason that the company think that the government only supports the local worker, not the foreign, which is why we want to provide accommodation for foreign workers. And also providing an experience for the workers that lack experience. And because as you all know, company needs it very much. And also this principle comply with principle number 2 in human right. It is used to remind our represented company to not complicit in human rights abuses, but to help create human right. For the next part, I will pass the time to my colleague, Mr. Dedano.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to introduce our first project, the Green Mile, in order to support principle number 7 of United Nations Global Compact, which says under the aspect environment. Firstly, in order to deter environmental pollution that results from the haze during the manufacturing program processes, there is a need to improve the chimney systems that have filters installed in them so as to purify and filter carbon emissions. Basically, the lean mean green machine is a system developed to counter pollution in order to decrease the amount of CO2 emissions released to the atmosphere, which leads to the reduction of the number of diseases caused by air pollution. We would like to start the implementation of our project in Singapore, and our target is to focus all manufacturers and plants in Singapore, and if the project will success tremendously positive, we will expand our project to Malaysia because it might affect as well. Why in Singapore? Because air pollution have increased significantly over the past decade. So local Singaporeans, they are worried about the indoor and outdoor air quality. Also this all carbon emissions, they lead to climate change, and these all processes will lead to one of the most critical and important problems of the modern era called global warming. The benefits of the Green Mile project. One of the most important benefit is significantly reduce carbon emissions to the environment, and also it might give the knowledge and the information to the society as well as to the next generation about being responsible in a green manner. Also, it allows most of businesses change the way how they do business. Basically, this is our Gantt chart, and we are planning to start developing the machine in late January of this year, and hopefully on press conference everything goes well. We're going to start developing and testing the machine, and after testing, we're going to ask the government permission in order to apply that machine, and if everything will be positive, hopefully we will keep track of the result. On the next slide, I will pass the time to my colleague, Mr. Suryaman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Darinov. So, good afternoon, everyone. Now I'm going to explain about the second project of from us. The second project is Project Working Land. Why we choose Working Land as the name of the project? Is because this project is focusing to make the country, which is our target country. We are going to help the country to be better working place or even best working place. And for now, our target are the countries around Southeast Asia. How is it done? First, we are planning to build dormitories for workers who really needs a better shelter for living. What they need is only to pay like what facility they use, like water and power. Second one, we are planning to educate new workers. So we are hoping to help the worker in Singapore by giving them workshop or work training to give them more information and also experience. And also this will increase their working skills and increase their level of productivity. The third one, we are planning to provide free medical checkup for them. So we are trying to make the workers' life better and healthier. So we will make a free medical checkup for them. We will also invite some professional doctors in Singapore to help us to do this event. And we also we will provide some free medical supplies for them. Where? Our first target is Singapore. As for now, Singapore is the main international market in Southeast Asia and also the center of business in Southeast Asia. Due to that, many people come to Singapore to work. If this program is success, then we will try to expand this project to other country in Southeast Asia. Like the next country might be Brunei. Why? Why we are making this project? As because the increase in total number of foreign workers that working in Singapore, but the dormitories for workers are running out of rooms, then it will become a problem if the rooms are full and the other worker will have no place to live. And also, many workers have been rejected while trying to apply for employment in Singapore due to less education, and some of the workers also less productivity. So then we are hoping to help to increase the productivity level of the worker in Singapore. The last one is healthy is the most important thing to concern when people are working. But to maintain health, it costs so much money. Therefore, we will provide free medical checkup for them, and also we will provide medical supplies for them. Next one is benefits of working land project. This project will fulfill the right of worker by having a decent place to live, and also this project will make a better and healthier life for worker by checking their health condition for free. This project will also make foreign worker feel welcome to work in Singapore. As the result, this will attract people to work in Singapore, as Singapore become a better place to work. Next, this is the Gantt chart of this project. So the first one, we are asking the permission from the local government, and the next we will start to build the dormitories if the government permit is approved. Then later we will select the decent worker to stay and locate them, placing the workers to the location, and we also will provide the work training at April, June, August, October, every 2 months, and we will do the free medical checkup twice at May and September. We will also do the press conference at March and November, and last we will do the evaluate at July and March of 2017. Okay. Now I will pass my time to my colleague, Mr. Ang.
Thank you, Mr. Suryaman. Now I'll be speaking on stakeholders regarding both projects. Basically, from the research that we've done, we've identified 2 types of stakeholders. First one will be the core stakeholders, and the second one will be the secondary stakeholders. Basically, the core stakeholders are stakeholders that keep the projects running. So basically, for this, we will look into, basically for the project Green Mile, we look at locals. Basically, we need local support from the local community in Singapore in order to keep the project running. Secondly, we look at manufacturing plants. If a project is able to change their ways of manufacturing, then we have done something right as a project from a project management view. Secondly, for project working land, our core stakeholders are foreign workers. As the number of foreign workers arriving in Singapore is increasing every year, we depend on these foreign workers to keep our project running. Like, for example, we basically accommodate, in the second project, we accommodate to these foreign workers. So the more the foreign workers come, the higher the chances of keeping our project running. Our second type of stakeholders are the secondary stakeholders. They are basically the people who have a special interest in what we are doing. So for Green Mile project, we are looking at environmentalists. Why environmentalists? Basically, they care a lot about the environment, and they will do anything to prevent these pollutions from ever escalating into hazardous zones. And for project working land is the companies that hire these foreign workers. Why? Because without a dormitory establishment to house these foreign workers might be forced to head back home to either India or China, wherever they may come from. Now, during the research that we've done, we've stumbled upon a few obstacles. Our first obstacle is basically getting a government permit. Now, getting a government permit is easier said than done. It takes a very long time from the point we propose our projects to the government to actually getting the word that we are legal to actually operate in Singapore. Secondly, our lack of funds. As you know, like my colleague Mr. Kosidin said earlier, we are only given 1% budget from each company's annual revenue, which will only keep us running for a while, which is why we need the support of the government to fund our projects. And finally, lack of awareness by surrounding communities. Basically, the phrase "don't care, not aware, don't care" practically plays a part in this. Now, if we spread the word that our projects are for the community, they will probably support more, as it affects them the most out of everyone else. Next is, how do we spread the message? We have found 4 ways of spreading the message across. We found social media, a website, whole press conferences, and blogs. Social media, basically because like us, like young teenagers right now, they are into social media, and it's a free way for us, without spending any money, to get our message across. Websites, basically, it costs us a little bit of money to maintain every day, every month, but it's worth it in order to spread the word that we are trying to do something to help the world become a better place. Press conferences, they are a means of announcing what we are going to be doing in the next few months. For example, our 2 projects that have been presented earlier, Project Green Mile and Project Working Land. Basically, this is a way to get the message out to the media, and hopefully it will get through to the local communities of Singapore. And finally, blogs. People these days are following blogs more often than not, and blogs are often run by celebrities, which is another means of getting our message across the board. And finally, what are the outcomes we expect from these 2 projects? Basically, built on corporate social responsibility. As you know, we are 4 companies coming together to develop these 2 projects. So hopefully by the end of the 2 projects, we will be able to improve on our corporate social responsibility for all 4 companies. Secondly, we want to ensure that all companies work within legal and ethical boundaries, basically not going against any laws or regulations set up by the government in order to produce their goods and services. Basically, for Project Green Mile standpoint, it is to create a clean utopia for all. Basically, the locals do not know what they are living in, the amount of pollution and other hazardous chemicals that are in the air. Create equality among foreign and local workers. That is why we have created this Project Working Land to create these dormitories in order for them to be able to keep staying here in Singapore. And lastly, our biggest outcome we expect is to expand, because without expansion, we are only limited to one place, and that is Singapore. So to conclude, basically, Project Working Land is a project that focuses on the human rights, and Project Green Mile is focusing on the environment. The Project Green Mile has its benefits of getting clean air out of dirty air, Well, Project Working Land has its benefits of making our foreign workers more local to the communities of Singapore. So without our work of without funding, we are unable to continue these projects. So we've come to the end of our presentation. We hope to be working with you guys in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Give them a round of applause.